Crawford versus Cinnamon Canelo Alvarez this weekend. This is the countdown, and this is like we got 6 days left for this fight. And what I'm gonna talk about, because we deserve to talk about it, it's the biggest time in boxing history. It's been at least, I'm just gonna take it all the way back to the 70s when Muhammad Ali fought this fighter, and his name was Spinks. And Spinks came and brought the smoke, right? No one saw it coming. He was a little kid, had 8 fights, fought the greatest fighter to ever lace him up, and won. They rematched, and like 90 million people watched because it was on ABC, and they used to televise those fights, and we used to get to watch. Now today, what's happening is Netflix is coming to play, and we get to all watch this fight for free. And the key is just realizing how epic it is when an entity comes into play like this. But what I wanted to share with you is why this fight is going to go in the direction that it is. And I want to ask any of you who are watching and you're tuning in, if you go to an actual gym. Because if you're an actual gym person, you run a gym or whatever, you know, I'm focusing on, we're doing a program. We're going to do a fight party inside of a gym. And the gym is really, really awesome. And so I just wanted to know how many people out there who would want to go into a gym and watch the fight. You know, because I think when you're watching fights like this, you go to a bar, you can't hear anything. But if you're in a gym, you can actually go get in the ring. And just imagine that. You have an opportunity to get into the ring while a match is going on, and your energy is spawned. It's totally freaking on another level. So I want to do something really cool. I think every technique, you guys see me doing all of the different techniques that come in boxing. And what I'm going to do is, I think I'm going to demonstrate several key aspects of skills training for fighters who operate at that level. And I want to show gym owners what you could be doing when you got big events like this on, instead of just going to bars or watching a fight at the crib. And, you know, for most people, you know, I'm not on YouTube trying to attract fans. What I'm trying to do is make a different kind of movement where you don't have to pretend to be something that you're not, and you get the support and be around people who actually think like you too. You know, because I take life real serious. And when it comes down to things that trigger like anxiety and stuff, I make sure that I give you guys things that help you defend against your triggers. And when you're in big events like Canelo Alvarez and Terrence Crawford, it's a big event. It's a big thing. It's a big deal. And you are going to have moments where your nervous system is going to fly off. So I want all of the gym owners to realize this is an opportunity for them to help people come into the gym. The version of me when I was a kid who wanted to go into a boxing gym when these big fights was on. And they get to do something. They could teach while these things are going. Would you participate if you actually learn how to deflect punches and defend yourself? I mean, like, that's a big deal. Having the chance to really learn self-defense in boxing, because I would have tripped out if I would have got the opportunity to go to a boxing gym and do something like that. Like, there's nothing cooler. So I'm going to encourage some of the guys who are in the gym world. And the truth is, it's free this time, so you don't have to pay the pay-per-view. So you should be having it at your gym. I'm going to show these guys at this boxing gym how to put on an event like that and start an entirely different culture of watching boxing. You know what I'm saying? Like if you go to watch the Super Bowl, you go to the Super Bowl. So whenever you go to watch boxing, you should be able to know what it's like to watch boxing at a boxing gym. That's what they used to do the days of old. My uncle and them was up in Philly. Matthew Saad Muhammad, George Benton. These guys, they did it different. That's why they got to learn from people who were teachers and professors. So that was just it, man. I want to know what's going on with you, how you guys see this fight coming, and at the same time, realizing that I want you to know that we built this channel so that y'all could watch how to see what's available in boxing. Because you can't learn boxing from YouTube. I just want y'all to know you can't become a champion on YouTube, right? But what you can do is you can learn what is it that you didn't know. You can learn some vernacular. You can see some skills that you can copy, but you're not learning because those skills have application. That application has a science and there's a formula. Like you don't do anything at any time, so you don't know that. So I got links there for free things that you can try. And always know you can come to Master Boxing and learn free stuff until you get to the next level. You can go and then you can get into our elevator school where you elevated training. And this is a new time and a day and era for boxing. So maybe you guys will take liberty and go to your boxing gym or encourage your boxing gym to put on an event that you guys could benefit from, basically by just letting them have the event at the place and teaching them some of the things that that'll be on display. I'm a little bit upset at the undercard though. Turkey Al Sheik and those guys they got a different agenda and it sucks. I know everybody should get an opportunity, but that's too big of a night to put people that are unknown on a card. Guys have worked their whole careers to get to that point in their career. And when they don't even have the opportunity to freaking be on a card that's going to be seen by easily could be 150 million people. And that's a little bit disappointing. That's where narrative comes into play. That's when bias come into play. That's when favoritism come into play because those are their fighters. So, ta-da, there's that. I know there's somebody here who's watching and who thinks that Crawford is going to upset the apple cart. We got 6 days till this fight happens. 6 days. Can you believe it? When they first made this fight, you didn't even think it was real. Now we are countdown. And this thing is really happening. If you are not in a place where you can get some boxing and work, boy, you're missing out. Because there ain't nothing cooler than boxing. And speaking from experience of being a person who's been in it for 4 decades, it gets boring. Neither do your questions about boxing. But we do hope that we can serve you all. You know, I put a free footwork mini camp and a proper conditioning program because a lot of people don't understand conditioning. And I broke it down to a science of blood ratio to oxygen being fused through the body because your conditioning level is based upon how many liters of blood that your body can pump in a minute through your body. And that measures what we call your VO2. And how do you get a much higher ratio of VO2? Understanding things like restrictive breathing, diaphragmatic exercises, box breaths, things like that. This is what I try every single day to make clear to people who go to the boxing gym or train that there's training and then there's training. So when you start understanding the science, because my son is boxing now, I wanted him to know more of the things that most people don't know, they don't have access to. So as I broke that down, he understood it doesn't matter how good your conditioning is if you don't understand how to breathe. Breath work is a part of your conditioning. So if you've been working out real hard and you found yourself struggling with breathing, gaining and capturing your breath, then it's because you haven't practiced and done breath work. And if you are going through that situation when you're fighting, you got to remember your body's triggered. The sympathetic nervous system is triggered when you box, even when you just boxing for fitness. So there's that. And you have to understand how to compensate with that. And that is understanding how to hardwire your body, your nervous system. So proper breathing, understanding that you have to take your body through a certain level of duress so it won't go into fight or flight. And when you're starting to do those things as regular practices, then you start to understand the sport of boxing a lot different and why the things that you're trying are not working when they work at the gym. So maybe that will leave you with something that you can hold on to. But no matter what you do, just remember, this is 6 days of the countdown. Tomorrow is day 5. I will come on live every evening and we will chop it up for a second. Let me know exactly where you're watching this stream from. And I'm going to go over here to Instagram. But if you guys are trying to learn boxing in a proper way, no matter what you do, go down and get some of the content that we have that's for free. We got good playlists. You'll learn a lot about yourself. You'll learn a lot about boxing. And somebody like me, I am a professor. I teach teachers, and teachers teach coaches, and coaches coach trainers, and teach fighters, the trainers do. And so that's what our progression is. So I speak more motivated and elevated. You don't see me out here popping around with, do this, do this. I'm not that guy. I'm the one that sit back on the throne. I got passed this torch and I'm passing the torch to you to learn the stuff the right way. And if you're fighting for titles and if you're opening and running boxing gyms, you got to remember, you got to communicate with people on a 3rd grade level so they can comprehend what you're talking about, because boxing is a serious sport. 13 people die a year, and it's because a lot of people think you can learn boxing on YouTube. But the only thing you can go and do on YouTube is become aware of a thing, but you can't learn it. That's just like me trying to learn to be a doctor on YouTube. Not possible. So make sure you're doing more than just, oh, I'm watching YouTube videos. No, that's not going to cut it. Because if you go up against a fighter that is in our training system, you'll get peeled back. And we don't want that. That's why people are dying. So don't die. Go out here and be smart, learn it the right way. If you got questions, drop comments down in the comment boxes below. And get ready for day 5 of the countdown tomorrow. Be blessed. And remember, understand the true essence of conditioning. It's not about go running. You got to understand the different layers of the science of your body. Until next time.